Dolphins Nation, I'm your host tonight, Bobby Melendez. Wait, I'm not Bobby Melendez. Our host and founder is currently on the mend. We wish we could be here in spirit. Maybe he'll jump in a little bit, but we already see him in the comments. He'll be making some fun stuff. It's going to be great right there. I'm your host today, Finn Spaz, and with me today is JPF Scout Justin. We're hoping that Mike Brown, the Hebrew Hammer, will join us a little bit later. Maybe he's still celebrating the Astros win from last night, or maybe he's still stuck at Soldier Field. Who knows? But we're hoping to have a fantastic show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us so far. Steve, Bobby, thank you. I hope you really feel better. And Steve for Sox, we really appreciate it. Yes, Justin Fields is legit. We're going to get into it. But the Miami Dolphins,
good running.
Miami Dolphins, legit running, not throwing. Legit. The Miami Dolphins sneaked out a win today, 35-32 on the road. They scored 35 points. That's banger. And the fact that they're now 6-3, they're still top half a game out from the Bills, who lost to the Jets. Who would have thought I'd be thanking the Jets? But Justin, how do you feel after this win? How does it feel to be on the show tonight?
Oh man, it feels great. Thank you for having me here. Honestly, it's nice to be on the winning side of things. When you get into one of those close games, you know, you're kind of a nail biting.
Oh, Jesus.
I was over at my friend's house and everybody's kind of losing it a little bit. You know, there's a couple play calls, a couple timeouts called back to back that people didn't agree with. Lots of things happening out there on the football field, lots of scoring, lots of points. So it was like, it wasn't a boring game to say, nevertheless, but I feel good. You know, we came out of there with a win somehow, some way. They're finding ways to win football games. Was it pretty? By no means. From an offensive standpoint, yes. From a defensive standpoint, not really. They just kind of kept doing things that they normally did to defeat themselves. You know, you got to stop the quarterback at some point in time. It's really unfortunate that Bobby was sick because we didn't get a chance to do any of the pregame matchups. I wish we would have. I hope he gets better. We wish him nothing but the best and to a speedy recovery. But during what we missed is that was one of my knacks was I wanted to keep Justin Fields in the the mouse in the house, and I wanted to keep him in the pocket. But they didn't. To me, it seemed like they kind of just allowed him to have that and gave him free will the way they did with Lamar Jackson. And honestly, I'm not really about that life. I believe you should have had someone there to try to stop him or spy him. And even if you tried, you need to try again. And, you know, I ain't got no complaints, man. He came out of there with
W is a W.
Yep, W's a W.
In the words of the Hebrew Hammer, a W is a W.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna try to beat him a little bit. But let's just talk a little bit about the overall game. So 35-32, they're on the road. Once again, 30-plus points. Before these last two games, they were averaging 17, 18 points a game. They figured out the offense. So you got to give credit to Mike McDaniel, Tua, Tyreek, Waddle for doing what they needed to do. Overall, the defense did what they needed to do. Tua threw for over 300 yards again today. His passer rating was in the 130s. His QBR is 81.2. He'll still be tops at the end of the game. He did have a few but yeah, thank you, Bobby. Don't forget to smash and like and subscribe. Keep on doing that every 5 minutes for me because I'm going to forget. I'm going to be pumped.
Smash it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Don't forget to smash that. But his QBR is going to be great and tomorrow. And overall, the passing game is not a problem. That is not a problem. Whether those last two throws in the second half, I want to say this, just get it off right now. The last couple throws were not great. I think those were just a little bit of bad play calling. Overall, it just wasn't what it was, but he shouldn't have had to throw those. 35 points should be more than enough with the so-called defense that we have. So we're going to get into that throughout the show. But I want to just let's talk about overall. I want to talk first off about the defense because I think that's the sore thumb that stuck out. And then we're going to wrap around McDaniel and all that. Through Twitter, and these are people who are positive people. Myself, you, the Hebrew Hammer, everyone. The last 2 weeks of the defense has been an embarrassment, and it's reverting back to that 1-7 feel, but the offense is able to sustain it. And I think that's what it is. I think that the defense think that they can be on the field, do what they need to do, but they're not adjusting. And that last week they adjusted, they gave up no points. Today they gave up 15 points. And you're the analyst of the two of us. So I want you to really dig into this and explain to what happened and how they couldn't contain Justin Fields. Justin Fields threw 123 yards. The running backs of the other running backs on the teams combined for like under 70 yards. They almost had the same yards as Wilson and Mostert combined. So it was all Justin Fields and not being able to tackle him, not being able to keep him in the pocket. and that could affect time of possession and everything.
Everything.
Josh Boyer didn't adjust to anything here, and that's what kept him in the game. Why is Josh Boyer still being entrusted with this defense? And I want to attach it a little bit, and we'll talk about McDaniel a little bit after. But McDaniel talked about the fact that it's complementary football. And at the beginning, the defense is going to help lead our offense. But now we can see the last few games, and Tua's been back, and Tua's 6-0. Tua's put up a 42-point game with Waddle and Hill. He's put up a 37-point game with the Lions. There's been, I think, the offense has been more reliable than the defense. So they talked about the Steelers game, but so what is you could give us your scouting report on why our defense is being so mismanaged, because it's mainly the same players we had last year, and now we've added Chubb. Yes, the secondary is not there, but why is Boyer not adjusting and utilizing the skill set we had last year and having a shutdown defense? This should have been an easy game for us on the road.
Honestly, he was adjusting until this game. Like you had just mentioned, they had not given up no points in the second half for 2 games in a row until this game came up. And you know what? Yeah, they were giving up points. I think it's a little bit of a combination of things. And where it starts, obviously, is up front. You need to get solid, consistent penetration on an offensive line. You don't want to get stonewalled on one end or the other. You'd like to get as much penetration as you can, at least from one side or the other. But not everybody gets stonewalled at once, or a running back pick you up in blitz. You need to reset the line of scrimmage a lot more. I'll have to go back and look a little bit more at the tape to see exactly what was going down here or there to really pinpoint it. But you need to do better on the line of scrimmage of winning your one-on-one battles when you're being blocked. And they were trying to double team Jalen Phillips a lot and Chubb. Melvin Ingram fought through one and had a man sack. I mean, he got his hands on him and brought him down. When you get your hands on these guys, especially these squeaky guys that are fast, kind of like Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields, you really need to just go ahead and tackle them all out. The reaching and grabbing stuff's not going to work. Just run right through the damn guy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hit a guy, just go ahead and hit him, because no matter what, if they call a penalty, be like, hey, man, I have to. The guy's so fast, he might take off from me. But it really does all start with coaching, bro, honestly, from that. Like you're saying, why did they adjust? Why? Because, dude, he didn't have the game plan to me, it looked like they just gave it to him, like, go ahead and run. But they needed to have a spy, someone who could run with him. I seen Duke Riley do it once and chase him down, and actually I think he scored a sack off that play. Or he got a TFL off it at least. But it's plays like that you need to do more and replicate them more when you see somebody have success on them. Like when Duke Riley had that, then they should have went to that. That should have been your next guy up, and like, I need you to go spy this guy. Because the mouse was getting out of the house far too often. And that was like one of my, like I said, in the pregame thing, that and Cole Kmet beating you over the middle with Eric Rowe. I mean, you can't allow these kind of things. You need to have somebody underneath him and over top of him. It's not rocket science. We all know how to play football. We all played a lot of Madden. A flat coverage doesn't hurt you too much right here and there, you guys. A flat. He's right there ready with his back turned to the sideline, parallel, so he can make a play on the ball. I honestly think we got lucky. Yeah, no doubt. We did get lucky on the pass interference call. He's right.
But it's a makeup call, guys. It's a makeup call.
That was a makeup call from that little tic-tacky call on Xavier Howard's interception when they had the holding and the offsetting penalties. That tic-tacky call they had over there for defensive holding on us was bullshit. That was the worst call I've seen. Igbo had a couple, too, last week that were just as bad. I mean, this is with the Miami thing, right? They'll call us for all those little tic-tacky plays. But when it comes to a real holding play on us or something happens, we won't get it. But, I mean, we need to get this thing started the right way. Did Tyndall run him out twice? I just seen on the comments he said.
No, yeah, he did once. He said once, but he completely missed him. He whiffed him.
Yeah, you got.
But a lot of the players whiffed him, honestly.
More though, we need.
But by the way, that's fundamentals. But you want to know what, Steve? Because Steve goes, fundamentals not there. But you want to know what?
No, they're not.
But you want to know what? It's something that can be cleaned up, because what happened today? They had 30 yards of penalties. The penalties got cleaned up. McDaniel said, get it effing fixed. Well, the defense, get it effing fixed. It's 2 weeks in a row that they're giving up to weak teams that are not going to make the playoffs. We're supposed to be at an echelon completely way above these teams. And Boyer has been with this defense for a number of years. This scheme, zero blitzing, doing what he's doing tonight. He's not protecting the secondary. You can see Croston had a rough game. Yes, he got a DPI call, but what do you expect from the poor guy? He's doing one-on-one coverage. Holland missed a few things today. Like, they're missing Brandon Jones. They're missing Byron Jones. They're missing key elements, and you could tell Howard on the Mooney touchdown. He's a step behind right now.
Step behind, yeah.
He's one step behind. His groin. Like, what do you expect? So
it's been like that all year.
It's been like that all year. So yes,
and on that zero coverage blitz 2 look, you notice like there was a broken missed tackle right there. Like, man, you got to tackle him right there, and I knew it coming out. I was like, oh no, don't break this tackle, because then the sideline would have been yours. So you can't give those up on those zero blitz look.
It doesn't matter what, and it doesn't matter what records you break if you don't win the game. You could records only count in horseshoes and hand grenades. So I'm okay with the broken record. We won the goddamn football game.
I just want to win.
But what do we do to fix this? Because personally, I don't know what, and this goes. We'll talk a little bit more with McDaniel. I want to just remember. I want to talk about it a little bit later. But there has to be some sense of accountability there. And yes, Bradley Chubb had a chance. He did whiff, but you wonder what? At least he got there. Jalen Fields got there. At least he got there. Exactly. So I kept on saying, I said this to Bobby before earlier because we had a chance to talk for a few minutes, is that I don't know if anyone saw that. If you want to have a good laugh after, go watch that TikTok video where Tyreek is catching footballs with butter and then with maple syrup. I told you, he must have brought butter and maple syrup to the game, and the defense must have rubbed it on their hands, because every time they tried to grab Justin Fields, he slipped out of their hands. So maybe Tyreek Hill should go play defense. He'll catch him. At least he'll catch him. You never know. Maybe Iron Man football a little bit on the defense. You never know.
I think what really comes down to, honestly, is the Bears were men too. They still have a football team too with an ego, and they have pride, and they wanted to play tough, so they played us tough, man, just like the Lions did. I knew these 2 games, looking at them on the schedule, I had them marked as wins too, but I just knew they weren't going to be pushover games. No. In fact, I think I had us winning trap games. Yeah, trap games. 27-17, I think, is what I had it picked on if we would have did the pregame. But honestly, I knew it was going to be a tough one because of what they present on defense is a little bit better than people give them any credit for. Do they need a little bit more pass rush? Yeah. Do they need some more offensive line? Yeah. But honestly, I don't think that's that bad of a football team either. Like, you have to have something designed to keep a quarterback, contained and in the pocket, and it's playing a little bit more like flat coverages and things to the outside, so that's where they're going to go. So then you have a spy, and what you do is you have a spy that roams underneath the front of that, and then you have the 2 flats on the sides. Go ahead and try to do that. You're going to get pounded. But you're seeing, I think it is what it comes down to, like, how do we fix it? I don't think they trust Jerome Baker to play that spy coverage on somebody who's really fast like that. First of all, I don't think they trust him to make the tackle in the open field. And I don't think that they think that he's not smart enough to get tricked out on a lot of they were doing that today to us as well. They're doing a lot of misdirection, a lot of motion, a lot of fakes, a lot of little weird stuff they were doing in the backfield there. And it was working out. Like, Justin Fields was hiding the ball well, and he was getting out of the pocket, but he was sneaking out the back door. Let's not, take it for what it's not. He was sneaking out the back door because nobody was there to stop him. So if you would have designed it for somebody there to stop him, he's getting stopped. They wouldn't have got nothing because he's not going to pass all over us. How many passing yards did he have, Evan? What, 132?
123. Justin Fields, 123. He was 17 for 28. He wasn't anything special on offense. Like, he's not a throwing quarterback. But wait, he will go the way of Lamar Jackson. And what I say about that is they are they're not quarterbacks. Michael Vick did the same thing. They are runners who are playing quarterback. Meaning that in the key moments they need to win games, a runner is not going to win you a football game. So they might be flashy, they might be surprising. He will get them to. I think he'll be able to help this team, but I don't think that overall he has the skill set to surround himself, because when he did have Chase Claypool today, he was nothing special. Moody had one good throw, but he wasn't phenomenal today. So for me, You want to know what? Today, our offense did what they needed to. Our defense did it, and we're going to get into why. The next topic I want to get into, because it's something that I've been pressing on, and I saw it today, and I actually said to somebody I was talking next to, that I was actually calm at that moment, because afterwards I was outside. My kids were at a party, and I had to go outside for the second half. Our buddy, the 7th highest paid kicker in the NFL currently. But when he got his contract, he was the 2nd. He is now the 30th ranked kicker. Bobby gives me crap. Bobby said this very, very smartly. we should get past inside the other team's territory before you have him kick field goals today. Now, he had a 29-yard field goal, which is 5 or 6 yards shorter. I don't care what the win was, than a extra point. And you knew the moment he was about to kick it, the way he was focused, he's in his own head. And with a team that is 6-3, he did this. He had a tide-turning game against the Jets because he turned the field around. And today he hurt us again. And I'm sorry, Jason Sanders has to be given some competition this week. And I'm going to have you get into it because I know you've done your research because we talked about this. But Jason Sanders is no longer a kicker for this team. Ray Finkel did. What were the laces in? I'm surprised he didn't go. Literally, he sat alone. And I don't care what McDaniel said during the press conference, because we'll talk about McDaniel a little bit later, about the fact that he was dealing with the elements. But he had 2 attempts under 50 yards to put Jason Sanders back on the field to give us 6 extra points. And it's not even watching it.
Did you see his last comment?
Who?
Bobby, about how he said he said Chubb will be better, and he expected Wilson to be that good because he knows the system. I agree.
We're going to get into that with the offense. We're going to talk about them after. I have it on my list to talk about. 100%. Great point. But you can't trust Sanders because, honestly, he's the 30th ranked kicker, and he's had 9 games to figure this out. And a kicker, if kickers can win it in the snow, kickers can win it in the rain. You're supposed to be able to win it in the wind. And the wind was not so strong today. And also, the key thing for me is McDaniel can talk about the elements all they want. Jason Sanders is supposed to be a top player on our team. And the fact that you couldn't put him in these elements, his confidence is shot. Yes, special teams we're going to talk about. So I want you to talk about the overall. I want you to talk about the overall special teams. So let's talk about Jason Sanders first, and then let's talk about the block punt and how key that was to the game, because I think you have a lot to say about that. But let's talk about what your thoughts are on Jason Sanders. I know you know where I stand on this. It's time to kick this guy to the curb. And there's a few other There's one kicker we talked about a little bit. We talked a little earlier before the show that was successful on another team. He's sitting on a practice roster. Why not poach him and bring him in? You have nothing to lose. You have to just bring him in. So go from there.
Are you talking about the kid from Kansas City?
Yeah, Matthew Wright.
Yeah, that Matthew Wright kid might be something of an answer for us, but there's other guys out there. I mean, we were talking before that about, I think I tagged you in it too, about Steven Gostkowski. I mean, don't tell me.
Bring him, I don't care. Bring me Adam Vinatieri, I don't care.
I don't think Vinatieri would do it, but I know Gostkowski is actually out there and probably would kick. I don't know if he's active. I don't know if he's training. I don't know any of that. But the Michael
Lindomar. Hey, I said a Lindomar before too.
He did. I
did say that earlier.
Yeah,
bring him back.
Then I told him Pete Stoyanovich. Yeah. We'll put Pete Stoyanovich back out. Right?
Let Morstead kick. I forgot to say. Anyone's better than him.
The Matthew Wright kid is from Florida, from Central Florida. I don't know anything about him besides he's 26. But I did look. The Ryan Santoso. Have you heard of this kid from Minnesota? He can't kick in cold weather, obviously, because he went to the University of Minnesota. He's from Florida, from Pace, Florida, 27. 6'5", 258 pounds.
I take
so he has to be able to kick a 50-yard field goal, right?
Field goal.
So I bring in that kid for a workout, or Tristan Vizcaino. He was just with the Patriots. You could bring him in for a workout. 6'2", 205 pounds, only 26 from Chino Hills, California. Elliot Fry, you could bring him in. Jose Barralgas.
Yeah. Well, Bobby said maybe we should bring in Lionel Messi. He's going for a practice with Inter Miami.
Hey, man, we'll take anybody who could kick. You could also go poach off the Jacksonville Jaguars. Have this James
McCourt.
Yeah, James McCourt. I don't know. Then I looked into it because it said at one point in time he was the place kicker, and it was probably during preseason. But that's all that's floating around out there. There's probably
anybody, right? Like honestly, Steve's telling me easy. You want to know what? Jason Sanders has had his chance.
I don't know.
And the fact that his own coach wouldn't put him out there, you tell Justin Tucker, you tell Evan McPherson, you tell any of these kickers in these key moments. You know what I mean?
That means he doesn't trust him.
Well, you're right. Alex said that. I get confused. You guys are aren't you guys twin brothers? I get you guys confused. Which one's the cuter one? I'm not sure.
Well, if they didn't put him out there, he didn't trust him. You know what I'm saying? If
he didn't trust him,
I don't kick that kick. That's why he went for it.
Yeah,
So,
and honestly, like it's really, really rough. He's really. But we were talking about special teams. We're going to leave. Honestly, we know where everyone thinks. We know where we stand with Sanders. So talk about that.
but
Punt,
what if they
block punt.
bring in kickers this week? I'm not going to be surprised. I mean, you've been
Yeah,
talking about it.
no, they
for
have to bring in
weeks,
kick.
so.
But what do you have to lose? Honestly, the guy is like I said.
Nothing.
It's about accountability and the fact. Also, how do you bring someone in
I
again?
agree with you.
How do you bring him back next week? Because honestly,
Who?
if
Sanders?
without any competition, because honestly, he's playing at home next
making.
week. If he somehow starts next week and he misses one kick, he's playing at home. He's gonna get booed off the field. No, he's gonna get honestly, he's gonna be the Ray Finkel. He's literally gonna turn into Ray Finkel before our eyes.
Well, what it comes down to is this: what if we need him to make a kick down the stretch
Exactly.
to get into the playoffs or to win a playoff game, or I don't even want to say it, the big game, something like that? Are we going to trust this guy to kick a 45-yard field goal to win it all for us?
I don't know.
Seriously, are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? No. Because if we're going to do that right now, look how it's been going. The 45-yarders and beyond are not going well, dude. Like
I love Cap.
I love Cap. Cap, thank
I love Cap.
Man. We love you, Cap.
Cap, when are you coming on bandwagon? Shoot me a message.
Yeah, man, come on the show. Honestly, dude, I think they need to bring in a kicker. I've been in agreement with you for weeks. I don't know what the hell's going on. The field goals that have been getting missed are bad. I mean, you could say it's the wind, or I pushed it wide, or I pushed it this. Dude, we need you to hit these. We need you to get your shit together right now, because we can't have that down the stretch. We can't have.
We got a party coming in 5 minutes with Mike, so we're gonna let's keep going. So talk about the fake punt a little bit, because I think for you that was the key to the game. So
yeah, the block punt, honestly, it won us the game. I said it right when it happened. I was like, that could be a game winner right there. I mean, everyone's talking so much shit about Jalen Phillips. Look who's in there to block the punt. Jalen Phillips blocked the punt. If Andrew Van
that was his best play of his career
and ran it in. Oh, he's going to have more plays like that soon to come down the stretch. I mean, they were trying to block him and take him out of the game. They did a good job, so we should give a clap to their offense for at least hanging in the game.
Danny Crossman, you get a 2 week reprieve from me.
Yeah, you get a 2 week.
Danny Crossman,
you the same thing.
Yeah, Danny Crossman, you're okay for me right now.
Yeah, right now you're okay, Danny. I mean, you did a good job with that and dialing that one up. Look, it got us and won us the game, man. When it happened, I was going bonkers.
You know what's hilarious? You know what I found most funny about this? Maybe you'll appreciate this. I guarantee you most regular Dolphin fans had no idea till today that Jalen Phillips and Andrew Van Ginkel were actually were on the field for punts. I guarantee people had no idea, because no one ever looks at who's a punt. Who fakes a punt? When's the last time the Miami Dolphins blocked a punt? I think it's actually the first block punt of the season, someone said, or it was one of the first block punts of the year.
I think it might be.
It may be the first block punt of the NFL season, but no one knows who's back there. So
it's true. Look, that comment right there, Bobby just said Phillips is having a bigger impact right now than Javon Holland.
Yeah, but also I think he had a better game today because Chubb was on the other side. I think that made wait
till they get it all together and they get all used to each other. Like Bobby just mentioned, Chubb just got here, so let's give him a little bit of time to get acclimated to see how that could pay off.
Defense is always harder, right? Defense is always
it's always last to catch up. So.
And I always want to say, I want to make an important point. I want to say this before going back to Jason Sanders for one more second, and the fact that quarterbacks have a running back, an offensive line, and they have a surrounding where they can get rid of a ball. They're not the ones in the end. They can throw a drop pass. They can do all that. When it comes to a kicker is like a goalie in the NFL. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Let me know when Mike's on. But they get in each other's heads, and they're weird in that way.
I agree.
And they're the ones where everyone's watching you in that moment, and you have to do it. And I think he's in his own head because he keeps on missing. So the fact that he couldn't kick it, I guarantee you, but I'm sure if it would have been a 50. Had a block punt home run.
Oh, yeah.
The bunt block. Oh, yeah, because Fudgelum wasn't there.
That doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. But all to say, I think he's in his own head. And once you're in your own head, you as a kicker, you can't get out of it. You can't get out of it.
It's a thing that you really need to block everybody out and just kick and do your thing and do what puts them between the field goal posts. Because I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't want to be a field goal kicker in the NFL. I would choose any other position besides that, because there's a lot of pressure right there.
Come on, Bobby. It's only 26 minutes in. I'm at the 30th of the hour. Don't forget to smash like and subscribe. We really appreciate everyone for watching. We love the comments, and we really appreciate it. The pressure was on. Let me recap that. The pressure was there, guys. Achilles heel. We can't stop mobile quarterback. Besides that, everything can be fixed in the defense. Yeah, but Josh
Agreed.
Boyer, if
We
that's a
talked about
weakness, but that can cost us 2 games. And if we would have lost this game,
That's all
this would have
scheme.
made a very big difference in the overall performance of our game. Because had we finished this game, we were 5-4, while the Jets are 6-3. Because you want to know, for me, my distaste for the Jets is a little bit less today because of what they did to the Bills. Because you want to know what? People aren't going to criticize. People have been criticizing our win against the Bills as being a fluke. Well, if the Jets can do it, we certainly can do it.
Right.
So
you know what? Everybody in the beginning there was talking about the AFC West, about how good that division was going to be, and the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chargers. Granted, Chargers won today. Great, good for them. But look at the AFC East. It's the best division in football right now. Every team that is in the division has a winning record, and they'll come out and beat your ass on any given Sunday.
Hard-nosed football.
And you know it. They play hard-nosed football. They'll play you down to the end. You better come to play for 4
quarters. I did see the double fumble.
One of those teams. Yeah.
That was a wild finish, the double fumble. I've never seen that before. That was pretty cool.
I mean, there's a couple
you're
plays
100%
during the game,
right.
That were stand out to me, but there's also a bunch of plays in the game that, I know they're going to go back in the film room. The play that really killed me the most, me and you talked about it already, Evan, was the play they had the fourth down, and, he looked at Tyreek first on a drag to the left. Then he came off that route, and he had Smythe coming out of there, so he scrambled out to his right a little bit to buy him a little bit of time. And he should have just gathered himself. He actually could have ran probably for that first down right there on fourth down. And he should have gathered himself. He just overthrew it. He should have just kind of lofted it.
He pulled a Josh Allen. He felt a little nervous there.
Exactly. He should have nonchalantly, and Durham Smythe should have been ready for the damn pass. Yeah. And I looked at it once or twice.
Where was Gesicki? Let's talk about it quickly. Where was Gesicki again?
I don't know.
Disappearing act. He had one good game last week, he's golden for the rest of the year. He doesn't have to play. He had one throw today.
They need to use him right, though, bro. They need to that dude needs to be running down the seam. Yeah. I mean, on fourth down right there, I honestly think Gesicki should have been running down the seam, don't you, Evan? I mean, think about that. That's a high percentage pass.
Well, we're going to get into the offense. So, I'm going to save McDaniel for the end, and we're also going to talk with Mike, hopefully, when he joins. But let's talk about the offense. We can't afford to lose games. It's crazy right now.
We can't.
But we have to head into the bye. Next week is going to be a completely different game plan. We're home. We're going to be fine. Yeah. But overall, let's talk about the offense.
We did win on a bad call, but we'll take that win.
Tua, we wanted a bad call, but you want to know what, Nicholas? It was a makeup call because the Howard having that interception would have made a big difference in the game. It would turn the field around. So
terrible.
Yeah. Oh, we can write off New England. Yes, we can write off New England when they play Miami because Tua doesn't lose to New England. Have you forgotten the memo? And let's remind ourselves. Let's start off with Tua. In the game that he started and finished, I don't care. He's on the field. He's 6-0. Okay, his stats are phenomenal. I don't care what people say. He is leading this team, and as the great founder of our network was looking for consistency. The quarterback has been consistent. We were told that if all the positive Tuanons have said that if you give him the weapons, he will succeed, and it doesn't matter. And he even said today in his press conference, "How many times can you get it to Waddle and Hill? As long as they're open, I will get them on the ball." Yes, don't sleep on the Browns. We'll talk about the Browns in a few minutes.
Bro, he was 21.
Save that for Finn's talk today, okay?
Take 21 to 30 for 302 yards. And the one statistic that stood out to me, I'm going to be honest, I looked at them. I don't really look at a lot of statistics. Was the yards per pass play that we have. It's 10.1 yards per pass
They had 3 point something.
Dog.
They had three, and then he had three
tutties, dude.
3 tutties.
1 point. Look, 135.7 QB rating, bro. Are you kidding me, bro?
They average.
Literally, dude, it's the best quarterback in the league. Yeah. We all know.
They averaged 3 point yards to throw today, the Bears. It was embarrassing.
Oh, bro.
But our third down conversion was weaker today. Our third down conversion.
Want to talk about the offense, man? How about my boy Jeff Wilson?
Huh? No hands of stone. The guy can catch a football. Did you see that touchdown? That was Reggie Bush-like. That was Reggie Bush-like.
Really nice, bro. I'll be honest with you. Look, 9 carries, 51 yards, 5.7 yards a carry, bro. 5.7 yards a carry.
Mostert had a weaker game.
Look at Hill, though, dude. Look at Hill. Look at Tyreek Hill. Look how consistent.
Everyone was waiting. Everyone was waiting.
143 for 20.4 average. Oh, my God.
Everyone was waiting for the peace sign. The guy was ready to do his backflips. I'm telling you, that guy was hoping to do that because he's finally getting touchdowns. And honestly, 143 as advertised.
I can't believe it.
Whisper's a GM away. Ooh, scary. Yeah. Ooh, shh, Bobby. By the way, what's that? We have to find out on Finch Talk Overtime because Brett's been a no-show the last few weeks. Whether or not they're if he's still all in. The special teams in the running game through today.
We're also right there. I agree with what he just said. Yeah. We're scoring 30 points for the rest of the year.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Alex. We agree with you 100%. But even Waddle had a great game. So overall, Tua, Waddle, Tyreek, even Cedric Wilson was in there. Sherfield did the job. For me, overall, the O-line gave up no sacks today. The only person who got penalized really was Teron Armstead with an eligible man downfield, but that happens with this scheme and the plays down the field that can happen. But overall, the offensive line was bang up. I give them an A for effort today. They were great. Tua got rid of the ball when he needed to. Another smart game by him. Not making. There was not one ball we were worried about an interception today. Not one play.
We need to give kudos to number 65, Robert Jones.
Oh, what a player!
For stepping in there to Liam's spot. And honestly, man, they might look a little bit better. I seen one
way
play
better
where he literally pulled to the right, man, and they had a pin and pull.
Oh, I had to bring up the point.
Eliminated the dude. Oh, it was on the touchdown. It was on one of the touchdowns.
Yeah. By the way, I want to bring up an important point, though. I've said this before. I wish Liam Eichenberg all the health speedy recovery. We never want to see an injury, but I think it's been a benefit to the team to have Robert Jones in there. I was always a Robert Jones guy at the beginning of the year. Me and Brett, we pressed this at the beginning of the year. If Josh Boyer slips in the shower and can't come to next week's game, and let Patrick Surtain, Sam Madison, I don't care who has to do it, but give us a different perspective.
You want one of those guys to call the defense?
All I see, honestly, and that's one thing about the media, these talking heads, I'm just telling you right now, they weren't pressing McDaniel enough on them. I think McDaniel's their best friend, and we're going to get into him in a little bit, but the offense was as advertised. The offense did not and on the one bad throw, we're going to get it's sort of a segue. The throw to Waddle, the throw to Smythe, that was a little bit of the play calling, and we're going to get into it. A lot of it was the setup of the play, and we're going to get into this right now until is he joining? Let me see here. Mike is here. Let Mike join, and then we're going to get into McDaniel. So we're going to take a moment. There's the beautiful man. There's the beautiful man. What's up, Mike?
What's up, brother?
Are you in the hotel? What's up?
So literally live here in Chicago.
Sweet.
What a game.
We're going to give you the floor is yours. So everyone, we're going to tell us about your time in Chicago. Tell us about the game, your experience. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with y'all, first of all, incredible to get a win.
A win's a win.
Yeah, a win is a win. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Bears fans. Incredible fans, man. I mean, literally, I can't say enough about Bears fans. The greatest. I mean, I was live in Detroit last weekend. Lions fans were great. Ravens fans are great. Bears fans are great. In all honesty, man, I want to tell you, great win.
Oh yeah.
You know what? No, I mean, it was a great win. You know, I was a little nervous about it.
I would be freaking out today.
Dolphins did their thing, man. Tyreek Hill did their thing. 6-3, man. I mean, I can't say it. I don't know what you guys have talked about up until now.
I'm going to give you the lowdown, and you're going to go. I'm going to give you a couple quick topics, and you can just give me your opinion.
No, I'm there.
Okay, so let's go. So the first thing we talked about earlier, which trust me, I follow you on Twitter. I was hoping I could have been in Chicago today. I was almost going to be there. Last minute thing, couple things happened at home. I couldn't be there this weekend. Hoping to be to another game this year. But let's talk about the defense because you right away. I follow you. I was watching that game, and I think we all talk about what it was like to be there with the defense because you want to know what. Because McDaniel, I don't know if you had a chance to hear it, but McDaniel talked about how the team was playing complementary football this week and that sometimes the offense has to bail out the defense. But this is 2 weeks in a row where you have been live at a game where the defense, at least they adjusted last week and they gave up 0 points. This week they gave up 15, and there was nothing special from Justin Fields in the running in the throwing game. They averaged 3-point-something yards a throw. Montgomery and Herbert didn't do much. It was all Justin Fields. So talk to me about what your thoughts are on Boyer, the defense, and what you think they should be doing moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted earlier, man, fire Josh Boyer. I don't love Josh Boyer, to be honest with you. But I will say this, to both of you guys. They did enough to win.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like, that's the biggest thing to me is they made just enough plays to win. And, I'm sitting there at the game today and I'm telling my buddies, as we're at the game, just do enough to win. And on the last drive, they did enough to win.
That's
on
right.
the first drive out of halftime, right after they scored, they did enough to stop them then. I don't care what they do
As long as they win.
outside of winning the game. They did just enough to win. And, Evan, to be honest with you, and just win, baby.
Absolutely.
Al Davis said it best.
Just win, baby.
Just win.
No, I mean, that's what it is, y'all.
Yeah, but let me ask you an important question, though.
Yeah.
Because
for sure.
we're facing the Browns next week. Then we're on a bye. We have the Texans. The important thing for me, and as a whole, for me with Boyer, is the fact that our offense right now is on a different level. People are talking about how the offense wasn't there. We were averaging 17 points a game. Now we're averaging in the 30s these last two games. Yeah. Tua is, you and I were emphatic with Tua. The guy was balling today. You never have to worry about one throw. We're going to get into the offense a little bit later. Hill, Waddle, everyone was doing what they needed to do.
Unreal.
But when you start to face other teams that are more juggernaut type of teams later in the year, you're not going to be able to sustain giving up 30-something points a game. So yes, our offense should not have to, for the rest of the year, have to score 40 points a game for us to sneak out a win. So what adjustments or what do you think needs to be done? Because Chubb would, I don't know what, he wasn't used to this scheme. There was some zero blitzes. I think do you feel that Boyer is the right, we win, but do you think Boyer is a weakness for this team right now? I'm just asking overall, win, but do you think he's holding the defense back? Did he freeze on us after that?
Oh, he's back right now.
Okay. Do you think Boyer is it could cause is a weakness for us? Like, do you feel that he the person, not the defense itself, he is causing the defense? Because I think we have the right talent on the defense. I just don't think we have the right person to be running that defense because there's been proof that he's not able to adjust. Because today he did not adjust to Justin Fields, and he saw in the first half what Justin Fields was doing, and he didn't adjust to it.
Evan, I think you're spot on. I'll be honest with you. I think you're spot on with the defensive analysis that you have. But I will say this: they won the game. That's the only that like. Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that. By the way,
that's the only thing that matters. You know what I mean?
It's true.
We can break this down till kingdom comes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I will say this. I'm sitting here in Chicago. I'm going back to Houston tomorrow.
Congratulations, by the way. Is that why you have no voice? Are you still screaming over the Astros?
Yeah.
Is that why you have no voice?
Yeah, kind of. Man, I got to watch the Astros last night. Got the Dolphins today. I will say this, man.
What a life.
I'm watching the game today, and no matter what, I'll take a Dolphins win above all else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And the thing is, first of all, you guys do a phenomenal job on these post games.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it's an honor and a pleasure to join you guys on a show like this.
We love having you here.
Oh, thank you, man. And in all honesty, brother, I want to tell you, being there at the game today, and I'll let you guys take it from here. Great win. They did enough to win the game, and that's all that matters.
I have one question before you have to go. If you have to go, because if you want to go, take it easy. But
no. I'm here as long as you guys want me.
Okay, right. We still have a lot to talk about. Okay.
Evan, to answer your question, do I think Josh Boyer is the answer? No, I don't. I don't think so. No. But I will say this: that they did just enough to win today. And Josh Fields is the real deal, man. I mean, Josh Fields is the dude.
Yeah, but we made him look like the dude today before. Yeah, he's a great ball. But let me ask you something. I personally think Justin Fields, and I made this comment before, he is a Lamar Jackson-like where
No,
let me finish.
Yeah.
He is he's a decent quarterback, but
Yeah.
the running game, he's going to have to adjust to being a quarterback. He only threw for 100-something yards today.
Yeah.
He only threw for 3 yards. He was dinking and dunking the whole game when he was throwing the ball.
For sure.
Except for the Moody touchdown, because I think Howard's not 100% and he exposed that a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall, Lamar Jackson, like in the sense of Michael Vick, like where he needs to be able to adjust getting the ball downfield, because it worked today, but as a long-term quarterback and as a long-term answer for the Bears, he can't be running 150 yards a game. It won't last. They're going to have to find a new. He can't just do that. He did it today, but he won't be able to do that. It's not sustainable. That's not what a quarterback's job is.
Yeah.
But,
no, I think.
But he is phenomenal talent, athletic as hell.
Yeah. No,
athletic. I think you're spot on with that, and what I saw live here today in Chicago, same thing. You know,
Right.
they are very. They like Justin, but they don't love Justin.
No.
Right.
I will say this, man. Tua cooked today.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was on fire, man.
Oh, I mean, the one bad throw that he had 2 bad throws today.
The Smythe.
On the fourth down,
Mm-hmm.
and then the throw to
The underthrow.
Waddle.
yeah,
The
to
Waddle
Waddle.
throw.
Yep.
Yeah,
He should have
He's
ripped
gonna
it.
want-
That was the wrong throw to begin with. That should have
He's
been
gonna want both
down
of
the
them.
middle.
No,
That should have been to Sherfield down the middle. That was the wrong throw on third down, because they shouldn't have ran it the first 2 plays. So I
Yeah.
don't know. That was actually bad play calling on all 3 plays. It was bad play calling.
Yeah, and I think I'll tell you this, y'all. Jeff Wilson
Oh
was
man,
a
legit.
Love
phenomenal
him.
pickup.
Legit.
Chase Edmonds, goodbye.
Yeah, no, I mean Wilson was a legit pickup.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Jesus. Reggie Bush-like. Did you notice that touchdown? Reggie Bush-like.
That was
Yeah.
great, huh?
And the thing is, what's his name? Bradley Chubb. You know,
He did his job.
He didn't make it into the backfield with sacks like I wish he would have, but he pressures, tackles. You know, he did his
Jalen
thing.
Phillips. He made Jalen Phillips better today.
Right. Yeah.
No, 100%, brother.
And how amazing was that block punt live? That was the
Oh,
first block
man,
punt
that block
for a touchdown
punt,
this season. How cool was that, Phillips?
I had a couple buddies who were Bears fans who were at the game too, so it's cool that you said that they were
The block
classy
punt.
and they're
No.
really cool fans because they were there
Oh.
at the game. He was texting me the whole time. He said he's seen that block punt live. He said it was really nice, man. We blocked it and ran it all the way back. He said the crowd was going berserk.
And I'll let y'all finish the show from here. I've taken up too much of your time.
No, you're
good.
staying on until we're going to go for
No,
another
you're
15 minutes,
straight,
and you're
bro.
staying on. You're not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
you're good, bro.
No, I'll tell you this, man. Great win, 6-3.
Absolutely.
You know, and the thing is, it's so funny to me because being with this team the last 2 weeks, you know, being in Detroit, being here in Chicago, they're resilient, man.
Yeah, they find
They don't
ways
give
to
up.
win, don't they?
They find ways to win. They eke it out.
They find ways to win.
Yep.
McDaniel, you know, I'm sitting in the club level today in Chicago. You know,
Beautiful.
I'm 2 levels away from McDaniel. Watching
Love it.
McDaniel live is something different that a lot of, I hope, Dolphin fans get to experience. This guy's different, man. This guy is so
But
good.
he has something he has to work on, which I think you saw tonight, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But I'll talk.
He
But I
does.
want to ask you a quick question, and this
Yeah.
is really important because you were there live,
Yeah, for sure.
and you'll get my point when I ask it. How windy was it?
Man, I'll tell you this.
It's a good question.
It wasn't all that windy during the game. It was really windy pre-game and post-game. Like, it's cold right now. You know, I'm sitting in the bar, and I got to be honest with both of you. I'm going to the bar, little makers on the rocks to celebrate.
Nice.
Dolphins win.
Bottoms
Dolphins
up.
win. Little Astros World Series. I'm
Yeah.
celebrating. Celebrating.
Well, let me ask you why. Let me finish. Let me ask you why.
Yeah.
Because if you watch a few of the shows, I've been very, very hard on the 30th ranked kicker in the NFL right now,
He
who has
sucks.
hurt us
Yeah, he's
significantly in a few games.
Terrible.
And today, missing a 29-yard field goal where he was totally in his head.
Yeah.
He was, and then the rest of the game, McDaniel can say it was the elements all he wants in his post game, but Jason Sanders was basically benched.
Yeah.
So right now, the fact that he did not give him a second chance to make up for what he did, I personally believe, bring in a Matthew Wright from Kansas City, bring in McCord from Jack. I think there needs to be some sense of competition because I think that, like a goalie in hockey, he's in his own head, and you need to give him some sense of a wake-up call because when you and I, who truly believe in this team, if Tua brings him downfield and there's 3 seconds left in the game and he has to put a 25-yarder in for us to win an important game or a playoff game, I don't trust him to kick it. I'd rather Tua go for it. So what are your thoughts being there today?
Yeah, I think being there, I mean, I was literally right there in the end zone when he made that kick. In the moment, go for it. You know, it was 4th and 2. You had the ball in the second half. Go for it right there, you know. And I didn't agree with kicking it in the moment. I like Sanders. I don't love Sanders. Sanders will get the job done when you need him to. I guess.
He hasn't.
You know, but in that moment, you know, 17 seconds left in the first half, go for it. I would have gone for it there. And I think McDaniel, he's such a player's coach that kicking it in that moment, I didn't disagree with it. But if they lost this game, you point to that and you'd be like, they lost this game because of him, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to sign off here in a second. First of all, again, you guys do such a phenomenal job with these post-game shows. Thank you all so much for including me.
You're welcome anytime, buddy.
You know, I appreciate it more than life.
What's your next game? Are you going to any more games, or are you done for the year?
I don't know, man. I'm 3-0. I went to the
and Baltimore. 2-6-0, man. 2-6-0, man.
We'll see you in Cleveland.
Yeah, 2-6-0.
Who was in Miami?
I've been to.
Oh,
I went to the I went to the Baltimore game. I went to the Detroit game. I was here for the Chicago game.
So basically, they score points when you go. They actually score points when you go to the game.
I know, man. Yeah, I know.
Keep rolling.
Trust me. I got to figure out a way to get to the games. You guys do a phenomenal job. I can't thank y'all enough for including me in the post game. Fins up.
Fins up, man. Okay. Take care, man. All the best.
Take care, bro.
Take care. So everyone, we really appreciate it. So Bobby made a great point. We're going to continue on because we're going to switch over to McDaniel in 1 second as we're almost 50 minutes into the show. So our last segment will be on McD. But to take a moment, that is one sweet Holland jersey. So tell everybody about what you do and where you get where people can pick up these jerseys.
Right on, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the love. If you guys want to get a jersey, want to get something special enough for one of your kids, yourself, whatever, hey, check this one out.
Yeah. And where do you find? And if you want to find Justin, you go on Twitter, JPF Scout, dig in the trenches, or shoot me and Bobby, anybody on the network a message, and we'll get you hooked up. Hey, I got some amazing stuff coming in, and I can't wait. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing.
So we really appreciate Mike giving his perspective. So let's talk about the last topic. My man, the guy I'm also really hard on. I love him as a coach. I think he's phenomenal what he's done with this offense. But McD, we talked earlier about the complimentary football, but let's just talk about, he had a bit of a hoarse voice at the end of the game. I think he pretty much lost it at the end of the game, or I think he was screaming at Boyer. But let's talk about the overall play calling. So first off, I'm going to give you a perspective.
Thank you, Thirsty.
I appreciate. Yeah, Justin does rock. Let me
give
you a big thing. I always do this to Hank. I'm going to give you an all-encompassing question, and then we're going to finish it up.
All righty.
There's 3 elements that McDaniel struggled with today, and he continues to struggle with. He, at the end of a game, he becomes a little too conservative and not going back to where it's been the strength, which is throwing the ball. The timeouts in the first half, with terrible. 40 seconds left, not calling a timeout and letting it go down to 20. And he said it's because he didn't want them to get the ball back, whatever. And then the 2 blown. The fact that on a 3rd and 2 and a 4th and 1, he had to call 2 consecutive timeouts that he burnt. Why hasn't he adjusted after 9 games to maybe the plays he's calling? The offensive line is confused. The quarterback is confused. Why? Because honestly, this can end up costing us a game too. It's happened with Andy Reid. It's happened with other people. Nathaniel Hackett had to bring in an assistant to help him with the clock management. McCarthy and Dow. He's a young coach. But it keeps on doing it, and it keeps on hurting us. And I think it's at the scheme. Why do you think this keeps on happening? Why is he basically getting in his own way with the timeouts, the time management, and the play calling towards the end of a game? Go for it.
I love what you did right there. Me and you were talking about this a little bit earlier, and I said the same thing to you. He just doesn't want to seem to get out of his own way sometimes. Yeah. You hit right on it, man. Like when things are going rough and they're starting to do key onto what you're doing, you need to change that. Go back to your bread and butter. Go back to passing them. Go back to an RPO look with a outside zone stretch or a stretch look to the left, but then pull it out of his hand and throw it. Go back to something different. I think he's a rookie play caller, a rookie head coach, and he's learning the ins and the outs and the what to do and what not to do of the NFL. And I think if we just stick with him, I said this to the guys I was watching the game with. I mean, these are the times we're going to have to stick with him and go through all the bad calls, and it's going to suck. But I think we're going to come out on the other end shining like a diamond, baby. So that's hopefully what I'm hoping. I hope he can adjust a little bit more. Like you were talking about right there, the 2 timeouts back to back. That can't happen, you guys. You can't do that kind of stuff. You'll lose a game doing that. Yeah, it'll cost you field position. It'll cost you time. You talked about the time management. It's honestly been very terrible. They wouldn't not hurt them for bringing in somebody to help you with the time management, to help you with that. We all talked a little bit about Boyer. I know we don't want to drag on for that forever, but we're talking. Me and you definitely talked about it. How you wanted to bring in Vic Fangio.
Raffy boy.
I don't think they'll do it. I think they could use an assistant or even a couple more assistants to help with this. Yeah. They need someone to help with the time management crisis. They need somebody to help with adjustments in game on both sides of the football, not just the offensive side, but on Boyer's side as well. It's really funny too, because me and you were talking about the who's the damn special teams assistant or the special teams coach. He gets Crossman. Crossman gets the 2-week reprieve here for the week.
He's the coach of the day, just on that block punt.
After dialing up the block punt, I honestly thought it won us the game. I said it when it happened. I'm sticking by that.
Yeah.
My stud of the game, honestly, is Jalen Phillips. And my other stud of the game would be Robert
I haven't got to studs and duds yet.
Oh, it's all right. When we get there, I'll get there. But whatever. Those will be my 2 guys that I'm sticking with because they're ballers. Okay. They came in and did their thing, But I honestly think they just need to bring in some different guys to help with what you're talking about, the time management, the play calling. Somebody who's been there, done that, seen it, been like maybe even has familiarity with Mike McDaniels and the Shanahan scheme. Maybe they could find that sitting out there. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know if they'll do that right now just because it's the middle of the
bye week. Maybe the bye week's coming out at a perfect time.
Maybe it's a perfect time if you're going to make a move. But I mean, if we fire our defensive coordinator, who's taking over?
Yeah. For me, if we fire a defensive coordinator, go pay him whatever money. And I said this to I think I said this to you earlier. Vic Fangio is sitting on his couch right now.
Yep.
We could have had him before. Honestly, who knows what they're going to do with Boyer? He's a loyal guy so far, McDaniel. But honestly, Vic Fangio, this could be with the way the team is going. Man. We're going to head into the bye 7-3, and to come in now to show what your worth is and to get a new opportunity for you to get another job opportunity. If you come in, shore up this defense. The sky's the limit. You're going to get another chance because he's an older guy in the league. They're focusing on new coaches now. He wants another opportunity. And honestly, he can make that defense his own because honestly, McDaniel's so focused on the offense. That's the thing. He's so focused on the offense. If he was an overall head coach and he wasn't the one calling the plays, maybe he'd be a little more focused on the defense and what they can do. But he's a play caller. And that's fine. So that works. But at the same time, you can't just rely on Josh Boyer because, like I said, I think we have an Achilles heel. A New England Patriots coach on the Miami Dolphins team, I don't like. I never liked it. I never will like it. Get them off my team. But that's okay. Anyways, as we're heading into the 55th of the hour, almost 9 o'clock, everyone we appreciate. We're going to get to our studs and duds in a minute. And we're going to talk a little bit what's going on with the shows this week. But we appreciate everyone for watching. Steve, Dolphins Thirsty, Ralphie, everyone who's joining up, Bobby, our wonderful producer tonight, everybody. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so
everybody.
Much.
But let's talk about it. Our studs and duds. So I'm going to give you a minute. Give me your studs and duds of the game, and why do you think they are?
Well, I gave you 2 already. One of them was Jalen Phillips because without that block punt, we don't win the football game. And then the other one would be Robert Jones for stepping in and playing left guard when he hasn't played all season and playing it really well. If you don't hear from a guy and you don't hear a guy's name, especially on the offensive line,
that's fine.
He's doing a damn good job. So, other than that, I'd give Van Ginkel the other one because he picked up the football and ran it in for the touchdown. If I could throw out a couple of duds, I love our head coach. I love what he's doing, but honestly, there's some points and times where you got to make some calls that are really hard. And you gotta know when to hold them, and you gotta know when to fold them, dog.
Yeah.
And you know what? Right now he gets a dud, and his team bailed him out. But he's gonna have to learn how to make those calls when the time comes to it. Could Tua have bailed him out right there with that throw, and Smythe would have caught it? Yeah, probably. But they just need to execute what he's calling. So that would be my dud. And then Boyer would get the next one for, leaving us out to dry so much with the mouse getting out of the pocket so much.
Yeah.
When you got the mouse coming out of the house like that, you got to get frustrated. It's really frustrating as a fan, as a defense. I'm sure the defense is pissed off. So,
yeah, for me today, the stud, and because you're talking about McDaniel. So on offense, Tyreek, Waddle did their jobs. Offensive line I talked about, but it's Tua because honestly, McDaniel, as great as a coach as he's been overall, because we have 6 wins, his only 6 wins are when his quarterback is there.
That's right.
And Tua has been the glue for this team. The confidence he shows. And you know what? Quarterbacks make mistakes. Trust me, there are a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL right now who did not have good games today. Trust me, Aaron Rodgers, no matter how great he is, isn't doing much right now. I don't care. And wide receivers are not. Josh Allen had a bad game today. He could be a little bit injured. They have to look at his UCL. We'll see how he's doing. Tom Brady finally awoke, but look at Matthew Stafford. There's all these quarterbacks. Look at Derek Carr. Everyone is struggling in the NFL, and you want to know what? Tua is a banger right now. He's a baller, and he's balling it. And we've all said consistency, and that's phenomenal. It is the most important thing. And for me, that he is the stud on offense, the stud on defense. For me, has to be, like you said, it was Jalen Phillips. But for me right now, whether it was Darth Cater, he made a few good plays. But overall, you want to know what? The overall people, like you said, was Melvin Ingram. You want to know why I made Melvin Ingram? Because he got a sack. He was a rotational player. He was the defensive player of the month in October. This month, he knew that his job was taken away from him because now Bradley Chubb is there. Ogba, I don't know what's happened to him. He's a dud to me. I don't know where Ogba's been. Like, honestly, he's lost to me.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
Exactly. He got his big contract, and he decided not to play anymore. But honestly, Ingram tried today. Riley tried. The overall defense. But you want me to give credit to, and no one's given him a credit all season. Yes, they are superstar players. But the wide receiver core has to want to work weekly because they always have to improve their craft with their coach. And you want to know what? Wes Welker has been a great coach. And not one of us the entire season has said anything. They do a close-up on him. He's very focused. And his wide receiver core, the way they used Wilson today, he has experience with Wilson.
Sherfield. I like
Sherfield. He has experience with him. Waddle, Hill. They're all improving. They're all improving because you want to know what? Yes, Hill is a phenomenal talent. He's an elite superstar. I love the guy, but he's having his best year ever, and that's because he has Tua and he has a coach that's working with him. So you want to know what? He's been great, and I want to just give my shout out to Wes Welker, a former Miami Dolphin. Screw the fact that he was a Patriot. I also want to scroll back up to the Dolphin Thirsty because I love that guy. The fact that don't forget to go check out his blog, go see his vlogs. He's phenomenal. Awesome, his articles. When I can't sleep at night, that's what I read. But I wanted to say the fact that his wife is from Montreal. Next time he comes here, I'm taking him to a Habs game in a poutine. He's really going to enjoy himself in Montreal. But anyways, if we ever need to have a hockey show, Avalanche fan, Habs fan, we're going to have a good time. And Bobby, you said you're a Panthers fan. We can all three go at it. We'll have a good time.
All right. That's all right.
Yeah. But guys, overall, you want to know what? We have a great network here. Just want to make a point. Don't forget to like and subscribe. When we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to be giving. Justin is going to be supporting us and giving away either a Waddle jersey or a Holland. It's not Waddle, is it? I usually get the graphic. I know it's a Holland jersey and a
Holland or a
Waddle.
Yeah,
Waddle jersey. I got it right. Woo-hoo.
Exactly.
It's Bobby. It's not Bobby. I never said it was Bobby.
It's Alex. It's
the cuter one. But overall, when we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a jersey. We're really looking forward to that. But overall, we have a lot to look forward to. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow night because based on how Bobby's feeling, I don't know if there will be overtime. I'm not exactly sure. Tuesday night, you're going to have Real Talk, Fins Talk with two of our favorite trollers, Dolphin Thirsty Rob and Steve. And then after that, you're going to get the recap of how I feel 48 hours later with my buddy, my dad, Fish Tank Hank. Later on the week, Wednesday, you have Fast Break. Thursday, if everyone's on the mend, you have Bottom Up, Fins Up with Mike the Hebrew Hammer and his dad. We really appreciate that. And then hopefully we'll get another show because we haven't seen Brett in a while. So hopefully he'll be on tomorrow night with Overtime. If not, you'll see him with Dave Stager and his poor Packers on Thursday night on Huddle Up and Wait. We have a lot looking forward to. And then on Saturday, you have Fins Talk Today and hopefully digging in the trenches or we'll be stacking some bricks when we're facing the Browns.
Stack them back up.
Are you going to have the opportunity to have Ernest Givens on again, or you're not? Are you be able to reschedule him, or no?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to reschedule Ernest back on. We'll get Ernest Givens up, have him on the show, talk about what he's working on. It's just some very exciting stuff. Oh man, that guy's just a ball of energy. I can't wait to get him on the show so he can talk to you guys about what he's working on, what he's been through, obviously in his NFL career, and just to have him on the show in general. But yeah, we're going to get him back on rescheduled.
I want to give a shout out. I'm a Canadian. Dolphins are my team. But in Canada, because we have number 91 Cameron Wake, there's a little minor league here called the Canadian Football League. And the Canadian Football League had their playoffs today. Next week, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there's going to be the Grey Cup. My Montreal team, they're known as the Alouettes. They won their playoff game today. They're going to the semis. If they beat Toronto next week, they're going to the Grey Cup. I'm looking forward to that, but don't worry, Dolphins are still my number one team.
I was just going to talk about the Montreal Alouettes. It's funny.
Yeah, they won, so I'm always looking forward to it. It's been a good day for my football teams today.
Good day for football for you then.
It's a good day of football for me today. And the Canadians, they're supposed to be tanking, but you want to know what? But they're doing well. They're keeping things in the game. But honestly, guys, overall, we really appreciate everyone watching the show.
Thanks,
we really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to come watch us. We really appreciate it. If ever you're interested in coming on the bandwagon, dig in the trenches, reach out to us. You can follow me, Finn's Paws, JPF Scott on Twitter. We are here. We're quick to answer. We really appreciate it.
Right.
So for everyone, on behalf of Bobby, the entire network, Justin, and myself, one thing to always say, Fins up.
Fins up.